Now, it's my personal opinion that everyone who has a business or a brand or some kind of significant presence that isn't just here's my social media account should have a website. But sometimes it's not going to feel appropriate to have a website for such a project that's like so small, or you don't want to pay hosting fees. Like maybe you're like super micro early business. Personally, I feel like small businesses should find the expenditure to be able to cover their website because it's an investment. It legitimizes your brand. It gives you a home online. It is the only place where you aren't bound by any terms of service and you can control what you want to do on your website and display information in the way you want. But some people don't believe that that's worth it. I, in fact, don't believe that that's worth it for my second channel brand, Deborah's Dough, right now. I would like to have a blog like I do for my website, Dib Dab Digital, where I upload my content in a written format for people who prefer it to watching videos. I would also like to have a shop where I ship like sparring equipment and be able to treat that as a pseudo passive income for some of the drop shipping from big manufacturers. I'd like to do that. But for now, the brand isn't generating any revenue for me. It's basically like a secondary hobby that I would like to be able to monetize later, so it's not worth me having an entire website for it that I'm paying for hosting for and everything, and a domain and everything else. But I am promoting the fact that I'm going to be doing an MMA fight soon, so I wanted a way where I could collect email addresses to use my free email marketing software that I've discussed in the past before. It's called Mailerlite, and it's very hard to collect email addresses in a way that works in an inbound structure when you don't have a website. So you can go in and add people's information individually. You could go and create a Google form and ask people to put that information in the fields, and then you manually go in and then you take the information you collected on your Google form and copy paste it into Mailerlite. But that's really inefficient, and it's not something that allows the process to just happen without you. You can't just leave a link somewhere like in your social media bio, like attached to a QR code. Like on Google, it's searchable on Google this way. I'm going to show you now. You want to be able to have a landing page. Now, Mailerlite has a free version and a paid version with the actual email marketing, which is the primary point of Mailerlite, by the way. It does have a lot of restricted functionality in the free version, but in relation to this tool I'm going to show you now, the only thing that is really paywalled is a customizable URL. So you don't have your own domain name, which in this instance really doesn't bother me because I don't really need it for that. It's not going to be a long-standing thing. So you can see my browser here. I'm on the Mailerlite homepage. I've already created this and I've already taken results from it, so I can't necessarily show you the full building process, but it's relatively simple. If you look at my video, Make an Abandoned Cart email with me, then you can see the process of like using the design tool, and it basically works exactly the same for sites, which is what they call this feature here, which is basically a way of creating landing pages or websites with the express functionality of collecting email information. You can also sell digital products that can be bought and delivered via email. That's also a thing, but it's not the point of it. It's not like an e-commerce website. I want to be clear that there is really restricted functionality on what you can do on these sites, but for the purpose of getting emails added to an email list, then this is what you want to be using. The plan when I built this landing page / site is I'm going to collect emails and names of people who want to know when information about my fight is released. So the key bits of information are going to be where they can donate to the charity I'm supporting, where they can buy tickets, information about how to get to the event and the lineup for the event itself, and then possibly if they want to sponsor me, how to contact me for a sponsorship. The main thing here is it's time sensitive. So instead of just posting out on social media and hoping people see it in their natural feeds, the reason you want email marketing is because it's time sensitive and you want to be able to share links that people can then keep instead of having to scroll down and hope that you've posted about it recently enough that they can find it again. And the natural reason you use email marketing over social is it's direct instead of indirect marketing, but that's not really what we're here about. The tickets specifically will only be available for a 2-week period before I have to have sold 10 of them or I get kicked off the board. So I have big incentive to make sure people see it, plan for it, know how much it's going to be in advance, and then when the tickets are available, we drop the link right there. It goes right to people's emails. They get alerted, here, buy your ticket now, not just coming across of it naturally. So we're on the home page here. I'm going to click on the sites tab, and then this one already exists, but normally you would create site. And then you would have the name, and this is the name of the project. It's ongoing. You can change it whenever. And then you decide if you want it to be a landing page like mine was or a website, which is more than one page. And that's the main difference between the two. Now, because I don't have a new one that I want to build, I'm going to go backwards and show you how I built it. So if we go to overview, I'll preview it for you first. So this is what it looks like. I've got my little header here. You'll notice that although this is for my Debersdoe brand, I have similar colors and general stylization with Debersdoe, and that's because these are both my brands. I like having a crossover. I don't want to have completely jarring brand identity because it all relates back to me on a very personal individual basis. And when I'm posting on my personal feeds and when I'm out wearing, like, I like purple, purple's my favorite color, these are sort of colors that people do associate with me. I've had friends be able to identify me in massive rooms because I am wearing a certain shade of purple. So I keep it the same. So this sort of mirrors the look of my website dibdabdigital.com, where I've got the header here and then I've got the logo here, and the contact button resembles the buttons I have on my website. Then I've got the graphic that was provided to me by the MMA people, which is generally used to promote yourself. The graphic isn't perfect for this specific instance because it's talking about sponsor me, buy tickets, get involved, and I'm not going to be providing any information on how they can get involved themselves, but you know, it works for what I need it for, especially the dimensions, and I don't have any additional graphics provided to me right now, and I had no desire to make them, especially because the urge to build this just came to me one day from nowhere. So we have a title here, come to see my MMA fight. I like some emojis, I put the emojis in. And then the body of text explaining the main details for the event. And then this is the email sign-up form. I could ask for more information from them, but I only need this bare minimal information of name and email. Then they subscribe and then they are added to the list. At the bottom, they have links to all my relevant social media. And this icon here normally means the website link. This links back to my very rudimentary e-commerce platform that I use via Upgrade Chat, which means people can be added to a special Discord membership group, and they also have ways of donating to support my training on me individually, not for this fight, not sponsorship for this fight, not donating to charity for this fight. That is my generalized, you want to support my content, you want to support my martial arts journey, then you can go there, and that's what this footer is for. But again, it sort of resembles similar designs to my Digital website, and it does have capture going on there as well. You'll click on these, it takes to take part with respect, watch on YouTube, and that's my martial arts YouTube, become a patron, that again links to the website. And this URL here, this is not the URL to link it, this is just the URL to preview it. And then you can see the mobile version as well, which, like, for ages I've wanted to be able to move this more centralized and put it under the logo and move the logo over here, but the way I built it, it just doesn't allow for that. I might try and edit it now. If we go into edit design, see if I can tweak it, but I don't think I'll be able to because I can't see the boundaries of the section. You can just see how the section is laid out, but it just elongates it, and there you go. That's all the information, and you can see the sections here that are editable areas. I'm not going to mess about with this too much, but you can see that it works in, you can add an element, and that's a heading, text, image, video, button, divider, list, menu, social icons or social share buttons. The difference being a social icon is this is a link to my social media page, and a social share button is I, the viewer, would like to share this on my social media. Then you've got special ones which are more like for functionality. So table, accordion, products, applications, signups, code. I wonder if you could add like Google AdSense code chunks to emails. That would be interesting, but well, not emails, it's a landing page, so it's available via search. So yeah, I do believe you should in theory be able to put this on Google AdSense, but you would require the domain to be authenticated for Google AdSense, which requires heavy approval, and that's possibly a whole other video I could make for you because my website is actually currently receiving Google ad revenue, so I'm curious about that actually. And then columns is like the dividers, like how many elements and sections do you want in a single thing, and then you have sections, and these are like pre-built ones that you can just tweak and edit as you so please if you don't want to DIY it too much and you just want to replace the elements. Style, these are universal styling, so you don't have to go in and edit it every single time. I did the universal stylings on my site, and hopefully I'm going to go back soon and redo the universal stylings on my emails because I keep having to redo that on an individual level, and it's like, why am I wasting my own time? Settings, these are all an option, include page navigation, that's the little menu here. You can have a notification bar, which I've turned off here, but like that's for if you have a special little alert you want to add, maybe like our website's down, problem, or tickets are no longer available via this link, it's like a new link, stuff like that. Recapture is visible, that just adds people's like reassurance. Animation, don't have any. And then social links, I only added these ones. I actually will probably add more in the future, but they do kind of restrict it on what social media platforms you can do. You don't get to add new ones like in WordPress, which is an example of the limited functionality of this, especially in the free model. Maybe in the paid model you can do more, but that's a choice for Mailerlite to make. Yeah, if I go into phone version, yeah, there's no like segmentation for how I could change this here, but I'm fine with that. And then down here, another example of what you have to have paywalled is the Mailerlite icon. You have to have that if you have the free version, but you can remove that if you have the paid version. And then you would just be done editing. Or in this case, you would publish it or save it, because saving is different to publish. So here, the status, it's currently published. So if I were to click this button, it would unpublish it. Publication means not only can it be reached via the link that you have, which is here, but it also means it's available to be indexed and found via Google search, which if you go into the analytics tab, it walks you through the process of how to do this. Like Mailerlite have their own tutorials on how you can create a Google AdSense account and link it to Mailerlite. It's actually much easier to link it to Mailerlite than it was to link it to my WordPress website. So, don't worry too much about that. Just as following, so you can follow a video and follow the visual cues and copy paste a couple links. You're all good. This tracks how many views it's got, unique visitors, how many subscribers, and the conversion rates. It's fairly restricted data compared to actual Google Analytics, but you can go to the individual Google Analytics tab, and then down here it shows the subscribers that have signed up for information on this email group. And I haven't actually created any emails to automate through that group yet, but I will. Domains, you have to authenticate this in order for you to basically not be marked as spam, and that's its own video probably. And there you go. Custom domains are included in paid plans, but you could get a custom domain there, and it has your own SSL certificate and all that sort of stuff. The link that is associated with your landing page will have something like subscribe page, because the whole idea is it's collecting emails. It's not a website for other functions. But then down here you have a lot of the information that you would ask of a normal web page on any other website CMS, because that's functionally what this is. It's a CMS, content management system, and you can add in your metadata. So we've got what we actually called the project for us here, which was that original title that it asked you for when you went to create the page. But then this is what will show up on Google for get tickets, Taekwondo champions first MMA fight. So that's sort of where you start thinking about your keywords. And remember, I made a video ages ago about how to make an SEO blog post. All the same principles apply of including keywords there. Landing page keywords here, landing page description. So again, what will show up in search engine results, allow search engines to index this landing page. Yes, so you could check it so you don't actually want it to be able to be found anywhere else on the internet that is not directly linked. And then the social share information, I pretty much usually copy paste the same. I did my logo here as the social share icon, and then here is all the custom analytic information. See the metapixel, you could connect that to Facebook too if you want to do a retargeting campaign. That's an option. Now, I believe I wanted to find out where landing page visitors click, so I feel like that must be a paid option as well, because I wouldn't have unchecked that, mainly because I'm just a bit nosy. And I don't want to enable pop-ups because we're not trying to distract from our primary call to action of sign up to the list to get tickets. And this is the group that people are added to, and that's the total number of people that are in the group. So I added 2 manually, and then 5 of them were added via the landing page. I hope you found that information helpful. I hope that you are able to get your emails collected for whatever purpose you so choose, and I hope that you will actually use my landing page to sign up to see information about my fight. I will link this in the description below, along with my actual Mailerlite referral link. If you want to use it yourself, then we can both get cheaper services if you do, but that's entirely your choice. What I would really love you to subscribe to is my YouTube channel, because that is the one I consider the most important. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Leave a comment for your opinion on how useful this was, and goodbye.